Hello, Augies Worldwide. I'm Dave Kassler, amateur radio call sign KE0OG, here with another episode of Ask Dave. Today, we're going to take a question from George Kuhn, N9AUP. And he's asking what to do with an antenna. He is one of the people who likes to homebrew his antennas. Okay, he says, I have a homebrew 62-foot random length linear loaded dipole. 62 feet's not a random length. It's very close to 66 feet, which is a 20-meter dipole, with which I'm pleased, especially in 30 and 40 meters. Yeah, you could tune anything on anything. Okay, with FT8 running 7 watts to that dipole on 30 meters. So, in Australia. He has a homebrew parallel tuner from the handbook design since forever and can load that antenna all the way up to 10 meters. I assume the parallel tuner is balanced to balanced. Okay. Now, he says you can tune it all the way up, but he thought he'd put up a vertical with elevated radials designed to cover 20 meters and up. I'm inclined to go one of two ways. I could simply put up a quarter wave 20 meter resonant length and use my tuner for the higher bands, accepting whatever weird azimuth and elevation patterns resulted, and they would be. Okay. Or I could use a trap antenna that he first found in the 1974 ARRL antenna manual and later found discussed in the 19th edition. Getting actual resonance on additional bands by selecting capacitor and inductor values of a single trap would be a fun project to undertake with my vector network analyzer, but the real question is, will it work? Okay, so his first question has to do with multiple resonances. You'll get, well, first of all, here's your vertical. And on its basic band, the thing looks about like this. Okay, now if you go to a higher frequency, the antenna it's now twice as high as it should be. It'll have two lobes like this. This is the butterfly pattern. And as you go up in frequency, you get more and more lobes. You actually have a sharp null at each one of these that can create a weird pattern. Plus, a dipole does not like to be fed at the end unless you've got a high impedance thing to feed it. So if you're going to use this, say, in 10 meters, you're going to have a very high impedance right here. This is where those 49-to-1 balance come in for end-fed dipoles. Okay, so what I would suggest you do, I mean, you can go ahead and try the trap and see how that works for you. If it works and you like it, use it. Okay, and you've already got an antenna up that's a horizontal antenna that you can compare it against. Okay, another thing you can do is put up your antenna, okay, with 2 radials for each band. And put the antenna tuner, and there are multiple antenna tuners made by like LDG and MFJ and so on. You can ask DX Engineering about them, that are designed to feed an antenna remotely from the station. So you got the coax coming back here, and this is grounded. Okay, and with the coax goes the 12 volts. It needs to do its switching. And then connect that directly to the antenna. And then if you have a very high SWR, it doesn't matter because the antenna, the tuner is right there to capture the reflected energy and send it right back out. And there's no feed line loss because there's no feed line between the tuner and the antenna. These antenna tuners start on the MFJ at a couple $100. But this would make something, if you put this on top of a pole, you know, would work just fine. If you ground mount it, you're going to have to put out 25 or more radials, which you can do by getting a roll of 500 feet of THHN 14 gauge stranded wire, which you can get down at your local home improvement store. And if it's 500 feet long and you cut 25-foot radials, you'll get 20 of them, which is a pretty good start. Or you can get 25 if they're 20 foot. And either would work, by the way. The length of the radials is not hugely important. Okay, so if you put the tuner right near the antenna, you can just put up your 20-meter vertical there, and on its resonant frequency, it'll tune it 1-to-1 all the way through. When you get to 10 meters, where that's a full-length dipole, it will have a very high impedance here, and the tuner will take care of it just fine. Okay, so I hope that helps. Let's just take a peek here. The real question is, what will these multiple resonance values have on individual azimuth and elevation patterns? Well, the antenna will operate at one frequency. The fact that it's got a weird lobe on another band has no impact here because it's not getting any energy at that band to create that weird lobe, okay? And whenever you use an antenna, remember that height matters. The optimum pattern is achieved when the antenna, and that's this part right here, is at a half lambda above the ground, or at the ground level, or at 3/2 lambda, and so on. But the point being, this is really high. This is 66 feet for 40 meters, but it's only 33 feet for 20 meters. And that's easy to achieve from a roof, okay? You can get that thing up there or hang it from a tree or something like that. If you've got a tree to hang things from, I would suggest a delta loop, a vertical delta loop. Okay, but there you go. I think this helps give you some ideas of what you can do. If you would like to help this channel financially, you certainly can. You can go to dkessler.com/support and find several ways there, and one of them may suit you. You can find Patreon there, PayPal, and stuff like that. If you would like, I would appreciate it too if you would subscribe and click like and leave a comment. All those indicate to YouTube that this is a good active channel. And until we next meet, 73.